Hey guys, v1ck here and welcome to another video. Trying something a little bit new today. For the first time ever, a little confession here, I have never actually tried Clapton wire, Clapton coils. There is no way I'm going to go to the effort of building them myself, you know, making the actual wire myself. But I found this 15 foot of Clapton 26 gauge plus 32 gauge Clapton wire, 15 foot from 15 foot for £5. So I thought, why not give it a whirl, see what all the fuss is about. As you know, very skeptical about the hype, so I thought I would give it a whirl. Now I've got some in here in the UD on the Snow Wolf. Comes out at 3.35 and I've got it at 80 watts, so let's give it a blast. Okay, so what do we make of all this then? What we're going to do is we're going to go down there, I'm going to show you the build, I'm going to show you the wire, talk about it a little bit, and then we're going to come back up top and I'll give you my opinion on if you should bother with Clapton coils or what my experience of Clapton coils has been. So I'll see you in a second. Okay guys, this is the Clapton coil that we are talking about today, Clapton wire. v1ck is whoever made this, I guess. I don't think it's anything to do with UD. I know that logo is very similar. I don't think it is, but I might be wrong. 26 gauge plus 32 gauge woven together, 15 foot, and it looks like this. Hopefully I can get a good read on this. There we go. So there it is, and it is just very heavily woven coil, basically using two types of canthal. So first thing I'm going to show you, and this was my first mistake, the first attempt I did. You try because it fit in the hole of the coil winder. I did try and use it in a coil winder, and really, I'll just show you this now. Really, it didn't. You can do it like this, but it didn't really want to boogie because it's sort of very strong of its own right. In its own right, it's very strong. See if I can get this to focus. There we go. So in its own right, it's very strong, and it just sort of didn't want to play like that. So what I ended up doing was just wrapping it round a screwdriver to get what I was going on with. So that I would recommend wrapping it by hand yourself. This is the build in question. Very dry coils. Sorry, you're gonna have to focus again. But this is the build. As you can see, it gets very dark. It gets very dark and discoloured after it's been used a while. You can see it's firing there. The two outer leads, as you can see, are a bit messy, but that is it in action. And you know, it was only my second go this, so it wasn't the greatest at all. But as you can see, that's how it's rocking. We'll go back up top and I'll talk about the pros and cons of this and what I think about it and the experience I've had with it. Okay, so that was the Clapton coils up close. That's what was going on down low. So let's get a few things out of the way. In terms of building your own, I cannot advocate that. If you can build your own and do build your own, absolutely, tip of the cap to you, fair play. But personally, you know, there is no way I'm going to go to that trouble. However, you know, for the people who, like me, were never going to build their own, this is a completely solid option if you want to do it. You know, a 15 foot reel is going to last a while, isn't it? You know, so £5. I think it's fair enough. Give it a whirl. That being said, what is my experience of using these? Firstly, to build with, they're a little bit fiddlier than normal canfall. It's certainly more fiddly than like 24 gauge. It doesn't quite want to go where you want it to go. I don't recommend using like the coil winding tools like the Coil Master coil winder or any of those. I recommend just getting a nice screwdriver out, wrapping them yourself really tight, get them as tight as you can, because like you saw with my build, they have a tendency to be loose and get separated, and you really want them a nice compact together coil there. So to build with slightly more effort, I would say my recommended build, having a couple of plays, the second build I've got in here with this, my recommended build would be 5 wraps on each side around a 3mm screwdriver, and doing that, you know, you're coming out about 0.25, 0.28 with this 26 gauge, 32 gauge Clapton. So with all that said, I would not recommend it like this. I would not recommend it on a single 18650 tube mech. The reason is ramp up time. These coils take some serious ramp up. You know, I've got this at 80 watts and it's needing 5.5 volts to get me to that 80 watts, and you still experience a little bit of ramp up even with this many volts going into it. So it's very much, you know, a high power regulated is what I would recommend. You could drop your wraps down and try it on a dual parallel mod, because the voltage sag, the voltage drop wouldn't be as low, but I recommend it on sort of these 100 watt devices really, to be honest, and 200 watt devices of course, because the ramp up is fierce. In terms of the way it vapes, flavour is excellent. Flavour is very good. It almost brings out additional bits to the flavour in a way. You sort of get aspects to it that you weren't getting before, you know. I think I feel the same about Twisted Canthal. I feel that has a similar effect. The heat is layered, and so you're getting, you know, various hotter and cooler elements, and so you're getting 2 flavours. A lot of people will say juices taste different in a clearomizer because of the lower power, the lower, you know, that the lower wattage that is used on those creates a different effect on the juice, and I would say you get both that low power and high power effect, and it does create a very round flavour. While I'm on this topic, by the way, Cosmic Fog Euphoria, gone. If you need a recommendation for juice, that is gone. That's in the bin. That, you know, if that juice is gone from me, then it's good juice, basically. For me to completely run out of a juice like that, it is good, so I'd recommend that. Yeah, so that's that really. I recommend it on these high power devices. I think the flavour is excellent, very nice flavour, very warm as well. Once it's reached that target power, it really can be a very warm vape. Bear that in mind. You want an RDA with juice, nice big juice airflow options, you know. Ideally you want one with a nice deep juice well as well, because you're going to be going through the juice, and as well as going through the juice you've got that big vapor production as well. I'll try and give you an example. Vapor production, if that is what you're specifically after, then this is definitely an option for you. You can bump this up to 100, 120 watts and get those big clouds. As a result, you're going through a lot of juice with these builds. So there is that. Now, is it worth the effort? Is it worth buying? Is it worth the hassle? For me personally, I still prefer 5 wraps on each side of 24 gauge around a 3mm. That's just where I'm at in my vaping. I like the 24 gauge canfall builds. Easy to build, lovely flavour, lovely vapor production. But that being said, these are very good. These are really good. It's just, for me, I don't need it, and that is just how I feel. Do you need to get into building Clapton coils? No, not at all. Definitely not. you can just use typical cam foil for me. But that being said, it is an experience and it is very good and it is a nice vape. So it is definitely an option if you're intrigued and interested in doing your own cam foil Clapton, or buying some pre-made Clapton. They are out there and they're good. So I've been Vaping Vic, and I'll see you again really soon. I've got a vlog coming up and a big juice giveaway, so check those out. See you soon.